When I was growing up, I was told not to play with my food, and now it's all I really like to do. I used to try to make castles on my plate or perfect little circular lumps of whatever I had, like little mashed potato dollars pools of gravy. I also remember having to finish my whole plate before being allowed to leave the table, and somehow I thought that by spreading the food out, it looked like there was less. I even remember hiding my uneaten veggies underneath the outside rim of the plate, which wasn't really a problem until I picked it up to clean and revealed my shameful ring of smushed veggies on the table. I don't think I got away with that one. Are you someone who does everything super extra and will go overboard on absolutely anything and everything you put together? Then do I have something for you that looks ever so pretty, but is ridiculously inconvenient to do at scale. It might even make you curse the roots that bore the fruit you handle. It's less romantic than earth-grown flowers, but ever so slightly more edible. May I present the cucumber rose? Most snacks just aren't good enough. Lately, when I've been craving a little afternoon snack, the usual suspects like some chips or pretzels have just been leaving me wanting more. And I know this isn't a normal thing, but like mini cheeseburgers or something is like always the level of substantialness that I want in a snack. Like I want the feeling of a full meal, but in smaller form so that, I can eat 3 of them and still feel like I'm making smart health choices. I kind of gave up on the burger idea and just decided to make steak bites with chimichurri instead, but when I was done, I don't know if I could really call this a snack anymore because I ate all of it, but hopefully you get what I was going for. I'm convinced I'm entirely unable to cook for a single person. No matter how hard I try, once I finish cooking, there is always enough for at least 8 people. I don't know why I make so much food. I don't even think I know that many people. Maybe it's just an aspirational thing, manifest your future and all that. But apparently the future that I'm manifesting is that of a catering company. It ends up being fine though, because I usually just share it with friends and family and become their unofficial food plug. And I'm actually okay with that because I really like feeding people and there's something really gratifying about people asking for seconds. It just gets expensive, so I need to learn portion control for the sake of my wallet. Trader Joe's is the best grocery store ever. It's got the best snacks and this crunchy vibe that regardless of whatever you buy makes you feel like you're super healthy and drive a Subaru. Before actually shopping here, I always thought it was something super bougie and only for those who dress up to go grocery shopping like Whole Foods, but since living near one, I've seen the light. I used to think that anyone who pledged allegiance to a grocery store was kind of like making the argument from childhood that my dad can beat up your dad, but I see it now. And if TJ's ever sponsors me, I might even name my firstborn son after them. What is the most well-loved food? Honestly, I think it comes down to what kids eat. I mean, just think about it. What are kids' favorite foods, and don't more adults like what kids eat than the other way around? In the US at least, I feel like it's chicken tenders, mac and cheese, and pizza. And it's no question that way more adults like those than kids who would eat adult food like Brussels sprouts, quinoa, or avocado toast. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I wanted to become friends with a random child, I would just give them chicken tenders and a bowl of mac and cheese. So the same thing should work when trying to make friends with adults, right? I feel like that'd be a good way to make the neighbors. My biggest beef with salads has always been that they're not filling. Because salads have failed me for so long, I've been experimenting with more hearty salad options that satisfy the hunger within, while also making me feel good about my life choices. This one includes hearts of 2 different vegetables, both artichokes and palms, that make this salad feel aggressive and hardcore like something out of Mortal Kombat, but vegetable style. It actually makes me wonder, if the hearts of other vegetables taste this good, I kind of want to try more. Let me know what other vegetable vendettas you've got and we'll add them to the mix. So usually whenever we have a family get together, my requested contribution is guacamole, regardless of whether the meal calls for it or not, so I want to go ahead and share my recipe. While I was making this, I was thinking that avocados are kind of one of those vegetables that aren't really anything special on their own, but are only really good when they're paired with something else. So in guacamole, or with eggs on toast, but you never really see anyone eating an avocado all by lonesome. It's almost like a condiment vegetable. And don't get me wrong, I love avocados, but they just don't stand on their own. And then while I was having this revelation, I remember like in high school being shocked that avocados were fruit and had to confirm they are indeed a fruit. And then I was torn because what I'm making is mostly fruit at this point, so maybe guac should just be a fruit salad, and now I don't know what to think. Anyways, here's some guacamole. Do you want to live past 100? Blue zones are areas of the world in which people are incredibly healthy and routinely live longer than average. 2 of these 5 zones are in the Mediterranean, where hummus is a pretty common part of the daily diet. Now, if you ask me, that sounds like a pretty good deal. Spending your days by the sea, eating wine and fresh food, and living longer than anyone else. Now, I'm not saying that hummus is the reason these people are living past 100, but if it's part of what they're doing right, maybe this recipe will add a few years to my life. Pickles are the food equivalent of butterflies. Let me explain. First off, the shape. Need I say more? Think about a caterpillar. It's basically a little wrinkly log, and doesn't that description match every cuke ever? Pretty much the same thing, except for those fuzzy little caterpillars that I'm convinced are poisonous and will kill you if you touch them. I guess if you let your cucumbers get fuzzy, that'd also be less than ideal, but more importantly, both of them become something amazing when you marinate them in juice. Caterpillars make their own juice, but you have to help provide the juice for cucumbers, the little mooches. Marinate them in some vinegar, and they become heavenly. Basically tasting like a breath of fresh air straight from some place that has really fresh air. Also, don't forget they're a fruit, not a vegetable. And that's why